What's goody, family? Back at the garden, JsGrassFedGarden, plot 1. It's June 15th. We're coming up on the longest day of the year. It's about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we got 82 degrees at the garden thermometer. That's 82 degrees Fahrenheit and 100% humidity. So yeah, it's been a little bit since I've done a garden update walkthrough. I'm gonna run it through and hope you enjoy. And I'm working on moving the camera a little bit slower, so I'm gonna work on that in this one. So let's run it through. We got the deer fence working nicely, and basically there's like a perimeter, like right back there. It goes like that. There's a whole square that's like not cut with the mower. All from here over is all cut with the mower, but I've been maintaining this with the scythe. And in that last video where I showed my mowing with the European scythe, it was like in this back little corner, but then I also ended up mowing all of this big patch right here. And there's like some kittens in that barn down there, so the woman who owns that side didn't want to mow that side, worried about maybe there's some little kittens hiding in there. So I hopped on the opportunity to mow it with the scythe. The scythe is in the workshop right now. I should have it back by next week, and then I'm planning to get out there and mow a little bit more with the scythe if it doesn't get it mowed. I'm really getting the hang of it, and that feels good. But leaving that as a pasture is good for all the beneficial insects, the birds, the deer. So it's kind of a universal thing that the universal synchronicity that pasture is being able to be kept in full growth. Because when you mow, I'm trying to find a patch. This side gets mowed pretty low, just because the person who mows it doesn't want to have to mow it as much. But it's I notice, think about this, 30 years. Well, so it was a potato farm, then cows roamed here. They definitely were fertilizing the soil with the manure, but they were compacting the soil. And then it was hayed, the big tractor, and then for the past 30 years it's been mowed very low to the ground. So this soil, I'm realizing it now, is just like so compacted. Just learning more things about soil compaction and all that stuff, and like when I walk on it, it literally feels like a sidewalk. But with that being said, my little patch here that's not being mowed, and I see where all this white clover is. This is the first place I mowed with the scythe, and then it's like not over there. So I thought that was cool. I'm really noticing the different disturbances that you put on the land affect what is going to grow back up. But yeah, just another. And then there's this patch right here. There's like a few hard, I shouldn't stomp on it, but there's a few hard patches like all around the property, and it's believed that this is where dead cows were buried. But see, this is what I've showed it before. This is what happens when the soil is uncovered. And I mean, I could put grass on this, but I don't know. I just choose not to. I use it as an observant kind of thing. But yeah, back to this. So from where my hand is, basically over is where it's mowed, but then over is mowed with the scythe. And so that means that this little patch that's I'm maintaining with the scythe, I'm improving the soil compaction because it's not being ran over with a mower. So I'm trying to be very conscientious of that. And yeah, like from the line to here is not mowed, and so on and so forth, all the way around. So what we have here is the Jerusalem artichokes. This is one variety, and these ones are second variety. Now they're in the sunflower family. They're gonna get 12 feet tall, and in the fall time and in the springtime you can dig up them, and there's edible potato-like tubers that are a really good survival crop. So one, two, just all these ones right here all the way down that you see with the beautiful wild red clover. People pay money for this. People pay money for red clover. It's a nitrogen fixing cover crop, and the white clover that's all over there, and it just grows naturally in this field pasture if you let it. So yeah, this whole back end all the way down is going to be 12-foot sunflowers with the edible tuber, and they're really hard to eradicate once you plant them. So that's a cool thing. Right here we have Tom's popcorn. There was some radishes and turnips intermixed, and some carrots. Carrots don't do so well in these soils, I'm realizing. I've tried them last year, didn't have any success. Tried them this year and haven't had any success yet. So I harvested some of the radishes and the turnips, and now the corn. And there's peas also intermixed in there, and this will grow up to be some nice popcorn. Right here we have the Abenaki flint corn. That'll be good for making some good cornmeal. Some arugula going to flour, but it's still pretty nice. A little spicy kick on it. Not bitter yet. It's nice. I might add that to the lettuce bag mix for tomorrow's harvest for Friday market. Yeah, really beautiful how this variety of sunchoke, Jerusalem artichoke, is taken off. And the lettuces, this is black seed Simpson right here, and we have the red oak leaf and the Jericho romaine. Say hi to this little snail guy. Snail. And there's snails and slugs. I just pick them off, and I shouldn't have thrown him like that, but I did. Sorry, snail. This little, where am I at? You can't see it, but right here on this, yeah, right there. Yeah, there's a little tiny pollinator right there on this grass that's going to seed. So that's why it's beneficial to leave these grasses and wildflowers for all these little beneficial pollinators and insects. And then strawberries. And it's the people who came up with these names for the full moons. Some say it was the natives, and I definitely have some belief in that, but I'm not for sure myself who came up with these names. Could have been the natives, could have been some other people, but whoever did, they're on point, because last night was just the strawberry full moon, and ironically all the wild strawberries are ready to harvest, and the cultivated varieties of strawberries are ready to harvest. So that's a cool thing. And yeah, so got a whole bunch of strawberries ripening up, and these are everbearing, so you get a harvest in the springtime. You get a continual harvest throughout the entire season, spring, summer, and fall. The garlic is looking nice. They've been putting up their scapes, actually right here. This is the garlic scape. And what I'll do is just pull on it twice and snap it off just like that. Great for making pesto, put in a stir fry. I'll take the ones that are ready to harvest home tonight, probably make a new pesto. But you want to take this off as soon as it shows, like about no longer than this, because that's going to determine how big your bulb of hard-neck garlic becomes. If you let this grow, it's going to make your full bulb of garlic smaller. So I learned that. Now I'm sharing it with you. And the lettuce here, I've been doing the cut and come again style, and I'll be getting my third full cut off these lettuces this week for market. So the lettuces are not going to seed, they're not bolting, because they got this nice shade situation going on with the potatoes and the garlic. They're on this like north side of the garden, so maybe that has something to do with it. But actually none of the lettuce has gone to seed yet. It's very good varieties. I've just been planting the varieties that were good for the spring. Now I'm on summer lettuce varieties, and we'll walk through that a little bit more as we get through. So we've got the Baltic Rose potato. Moving on to the from here to here, I don't know if you could tell in the video, but these ones are a little bit darker green, and then you get right here, and these ones are more light green. This is the rose gold potato. They're putting on a nice white flower, and intermixed is the Oregon snow peas, and all the peas are going to start to put on some fruit. And then this side over here in that bed on the other side of the Oregon snow peas is the German butterball potatoes. And then it gets into the I did a Nature's Promise organic potato from the grocery store. So the potatoes are looking great. And Woody Prairie Family Farm, I just read this on their website. I didn't know it like when I bought them, but it's been proven they have the best seed potato in all of the United States. I thought that was a very cool thing, and it shows for sure. Like the German butterball that I got from High Mowing, it's doing all right, but it has it's getting some holes in the leaves. But the ones I got from Woody Prairie Family Farm, top notch. Definitely will always only be getting my potatoes from there. And I'm going to try and save seed potatoes this year, but I don't have the best storage. Supposed to keep them at 50 degrees and in no light. So when these get harvested, I'll have to, make them last all the way until April of 2023. Oh, a bumblebee. He's on the red clover. So we'll see how that works out. Got to find a good storage situation for that. So then the mounds. Pumpkins are taking off. This is that mound of hay I had mowed from over there, and I've been using it when I need it. Look at the green mountains out there. It's been beautiful sunny days. Seems like some thunderstorms are coming in. That's good. Can always use some rain. This is the wildflower, the Indian paintbrush. There's red and yellow ones. So the tobacco never came up, which is okay. I think I planted it too early. So I just planted some a second succession of sweet corn right over here. I forgot to mention it. There was actually sweet corn also intermixed of those 3 rows of lettuce that I said I got 2 cuts off of already. So all the mounds are checking in nice with the pumpkin seedlings growing. And the idea is that they're just gonna sprawl out, you know, over this whole section. We'll see how that works out. Over on this mound, some beautiful outrageous lettuce intermixed with the pumpkins around it. And yeah, this was some ginger I planted in a pot, and I think I also planted that too early. So I removed one of the pumpkin seedlings from one of the mounds and stuck it in there, but I don't think it's doing too hot. These ones are doing great. Some more pumpkins coming up. I think that's actually, we're moving on to the winter squash now. And this was arugula growing here in the middle. I cut that back for harvest, and then all around now the winter squash is coming in. Another different kind of winter squash. And these are two different kinds of watermelon. And tomato seedling right in the middle. I had planted some cantaloupe here, but there were like some burpees seeds that I got from like Home Depot last year. Organic, but you know, I always preach it's all about where you get the seeds from. And I'm noticing that more so this year because, you know, those seeds just, it doesn't really matter if they're a year old. Seeds can last a very long time if kept in the proper storage. You could just tell, like when they were growing, they just weren't going to do too hot. Maybe I don't have the best climate for cantaloupe either, but I know it can be done. Maybe I just need to get a better variety. So I 86'd the cantaloupe. I left one of them, and now I planted that to another sweet corn. So we'll have two varieties of sweet corn, one variety of popcorn, one variety of flint corn. This big mound right here, as I've stated in past videos, is going to be a big summer squash mound, and all those seedlings are finally coming up. It took a while. It's going to be some green zucchini and yellow summer squash. Got a little pea patch right here. Hey, there's a pea, Oregon snow pea. Let that one, all those white flowers are going to be peas. And then behind that is the green wave mustard greens that I'm kind of just letting go to flower, which is perfectly okay. This is the ginger plant. Some arugula coming up right here that I planted in that patch where there was nothing growing. Goes into some cilantro with some lettuce in the back. Some cilantro that I had just harvested. All of these are beans. I forget which variety off the top. I think that might be the Dragon Lingerie, actually. Some more outrageous lettuce going into a gourmet blend to outrageous lettuce. And then some arugula that's going to flower. Some some purple wave mustard greens. In the back is some more green wave mustard greens. So I put up this, as envisioned, I put up this trellis because the tomatoes are finally taking off. So here is the tomato plants really taking off nicely. And the idea is that it will go up this string. So we got one. That is some Thai basil, smells really good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's some yarrow, highly medicinal. Some Genovese basil back there that I started indoors. 10 pepper plant. Some mint my brother just gave me. 11, 12, 2 eggplants, and the Goldie ground cherry setting little Tiny baby fruits, so that's cool. So about like 10, 12 tomato plants. The ones in the wood chips, those are the ones that I started from seed inside back in February. And I put them out a little bit too early in May. They got a cold shock, died back, but they re-sprouted. All these ones in this mound, those are started from seed. Literally just planted the seed right here and they're growing. So, you know, it's gonna be a while, not till like August to have tomatoes, but that's okay. We're gonna have tomatoes nonetheless. This lettuce right here doing so great. That planted itself. And I've stated this in previous videos, but when it's now fully grown out, and I've also gotten 2 cuts off of that for the past 2 weeks, gonna be getting my 3rd cut for the 3rd week of market. So if you do this lettuce thing right, you just get a perpetual, continuous harvest, which I think is a really great thing. That's some cilantro going to seed, into some amaranth, some garnet red amaranth, and some elephant head amaranth. That is some New Zealand spinach. Shout outs to my great grandmother, Polish grandmother, my aunt's grandmother, who had a garden in Stamford, Connecticut, and that was one of the crops that my aunt told me that she grew. So I'm growing that in a tribute to her. So one love to my Polish great grandmother. And yeah, so the garlic is doing good, and then I'll take you on a walk inside the garden to show all the other different successions of lettuce. So I have those 4 rows that I told you I've already gotten 2 cuts off of. I'll be getting my 3rd cut this week. But then there's this succession right here coming into fruition. So, you know, just keep on planting and having a continual harvest. This is some komatsuna Asian greens. Really tender, really nice. Off the charts. It was really good. No lie. I don't know why I said no lie. It's obviously, I'm telling the truth, but it's tender Asian green, not bitter, juicy. Probably be good if you cooked it down or something. It's good. Another succession of lettuce. Some beet greens that I planted back in March, and they're still kicking. I got 1 beet. I think the soil's not good for the beets to form. So I just keep on cutting the leaves, and the leaves keep growing back. I'm making pestos with those. More lettuce. This lettuce is ready to harvest this week for market. This will be my 1st cut off of that. And then right here, those little tiny baby ones, that'll be the next succession of lettuce. 2 more eggplants right here. Some more komatsuna Asian greens. More successions of lettuce. More Asian greens. This little outrageous lettuce just hiding in there. And then all of these down the whole row are more beans. So these will all be beans coming in the next few weeks. This is I had radishes planted here. You can see there's still kind of some hanging out and in the side, and then these 2 rows here will be another succession of lettuce, and that's the summer variety, because now that we're finally going into the warmer temps, planting the lettuce that's better for this time of the year. But all the other lettuces that were good for spring, they're doing good still now, so that's a cool thing. A different kind of bean right here. Some cilantro right in there, intermixed with the garlic. And this one I'm really proud of. Yeah. Big turnip. Purple top, white globe turnip. Planted in March. Only 1 of them took. Kind of want to harvest it for the video, but I also kind of want to keep on letting it grow. Maybe in the next one. This is some Asian green, mustard green mix that I've gotten 2 cuts off of. And hopefully going to get a 3rd cut as well. This is some bok choy. Looking really nice right there. Another little succession of lettuce hiding out. I just make sure that I got the lettuce hiding out, you know. As long as there's lettuce, there's lettuce in the pocket. So, more komatsuna Asian greens, very tender, very good. More lettuce. And yeah, some more lettuce over there, some more beans. And oh yeah, this was really cool. I got these from, oh, more lettuce. These are sweet potato slips. So unlike with the, I may have explained this in another video, I may have not. Oh, sorry, real quick. And cucumbers. Probably not the best planting space for those because they're going to turn into a vine and take over, but I wanted some cucumbers, and there's a few more right there as well. But yeah, back to the sweet potatoes. So with potatoes, you plant the potato and get more potatoes. But with the sweet potato, one, they're tropical, so they can become a perennial in Florida, zone 9, zone 8, zone 7. But any further than that, it's grown as an annual. And in order to sprout them, they need to be at like 80 degrees. So you need a greenhouse to do that. Don't have that. So I was not able to sprout my own sweet potatoes. They put up slips. So if you live in Florida, you can just plant the sweet potato. They'll put off like 20 to 15 slips. You rip the slips off and plant those. And then that's how you get more sweet potatoes. But if you don't have the ability to sprout a sweet potato to get the slips in a greenhouse, then you can purchase the slips from a company. So One Love to Sprout Mountain out of North Carolina. I could have got them from Johnny's Seeds, but I decided to go with a different organic sweet potato company and try them out. So One Love to Sprout Mountain. I'll let you know how the sweet potatoes come about. It would be cool to just have some Vermont sweet potatoes, you know? So we're going to try that. And I know there is a sweet potato farm in Vermont, like an hour and a half north. So it is possible. And then the potatoes from the inside are just coming in really nice. And I planted some more sweet potatoes in here, intermixed. This potato planted itself. I did not plant this. This was from a potato that overwintered from last year. This little big bush right here is like all carrots. I don't know how they're gonna do because they're planted like really close together. And this is some cilantro from last year. I did not plant this, so the cilantro is becoming a perennial in the garden, which is a great thing. Actually, yeah, that's what this is. It's kind of hard to tell between the carrots and the cilantro, but this is definitely cilantro going to seed. Which then when it goes to seed, you get coriander, which is a nice spice. So that's cool. And more lettuce, more garlic, escape. I'll let that grow a little bit more. But yeah, so that's Jay's grass-fed garden update. Look at this. Here's a slug. Hey, Mr. Oh, wait. There you go. Hey, Mr. Slug. I'm going to take you and I'm going to place you outside of the garden. That's what I do. If I see a snail or a slug, you just take them and put them out there. And then you get this orange gook on your fingers. And then I just wipe that off. But yeah, so if you maybe have noticed or not noticed, there's a trend going on. I've tried to, there were some people walking, waving. I've tried to, the radishes, you know, they're like a hit or miss. I either get a really big one, like that size, or I'll get one like dime size. I don't know if that's the soil fertility, probably is. Maybe I'm planting them too close for the soil fertility that I have. So maybe try planting them a little bit farther apart until I can increase the soil fertility. But they take like 25 days. So lettuce, it's a hot seller. It's a light feeder. And I know if I plant the lettuce seeds, they're gonna come up and look like all the lettuce that I just showed. So call me Jay's grass-fed lettuce farmer. Definitely be experimenting with other crops, but there's still, even though I have all the greens, there's still a diverse amount of intermixing and crops going on here. And that's the key, biodiversity, for a biodiverse soil microbial activity. Wanted to point this out. So you can see right here, this like kind of, the grass is sparse. I need to go to that pile and put on a little bit more grass. And you know, this is what happens from the soil being exposed. It turns to dust. So if I'm about to water as well, that will help it. But once this lettuce also grows up, that will help protect the soil a little bit. So that's kind of why I haven't gave it that full cover that it needs, because the lettuce is still growing and I don't want to cover it with the grass. Sometimes I'll just like cover it completely when I plant the seeds, and then the lettuce is able to grow up through the grass, and then that way don't have this problem. So yeah, the garden is looking beautiful, on point. Strawberries, garlic, lettuce, beet greens, cilantro, potatoes, Asian greens, beans, soon to be summer squash, soon to be pumpkins in some months, peas, eggplants, pepper, ground cherry, corn. It's going on. And I already have some returning customers at the market saying that they love my greens, and I've just had some good compliments all the way around. So get out there and grow some food. You can do this. If you got any questions, leave them down below. Let's make conversation. Let's build community. I love you all. One love, wholeness, peace.